Hello from Russian cultural capital, Saint Petersburg city. My name is Niki, and today I'm gonna bring you to travel a little bit around Russia. I'm taking a flight tonight to Kazan city, the capital of Tatarstan Republic. I'm gonna show you a little bit of Saint Petersburg, officially my favorite city in Russia. I'm gonna show you how I take the cheapest Russian airlines, Pobeda, only $30 for a flight from one city to another, and also show you Kazan, the place where I'm about to stay tonight. One thing to mention, I travel on a very low budget, taking the cheapest flight possible, staying at hostels or just cheap hotel rooms, also taking public transport instead of taking taxis, so I think that will be an interesting perspective on traveling in Russia for you. So stay tuned and welcome to Russia. The easiest way to get from Saint Petersburg downtown to Pobeda airport is actually taking a taxi. It costs about 1,000 rubles, more or less, which is about 15 bucks. But I'm not taking it because I'm traveling solo on a budget, so instead I'm just taking a subway, which cost me about 40 rubles, half a dollar, and then I'm taking a bus for another half a dollar, just $1 more or less for getting to the airport, which is only 20-30 minutes longer than taking a taxi. I was thinking that it will be not that easy to find the bus to the airport, which sometimes is in Russia, but here, really good navigation. Good job, Saint Petersburg. By the way, guys, if you ever visit Russia, don't be afraid to use public transport and download the best app for that, 2GIS. I always use that when I travel around Russian cities. It has the most actual roads, and that's basically how I found the way to the airport right now.
The subway and the bus trip took me about 50 minutes to get to the airport, and I arrived 2 hours before the departure, which is much earlier than I usually do. But this time I had a feeling that I could spend much more time with Pobeda Airlines, and I was exactly right. If you ever fly with Pobeda, expect spending much longer time at the check-in counter. They have absurd dimensions for cabin luggage, which causes troubles for many passengers. Many had to repack their backpacks, including myself.
And another pain in the ass is packing luggage. Like, the cabin luggage in Pobeda Airlines is much smaller than usual, so I'm repacking it, making it smaller. I'm not going to pay more money for that. No way.
Some people had to pay a few thousand rubles if they couldn't fit their cabin luggage into the measuring box. By the way, I finished by paying extra 500 rubles for messing up with my first and last name while booking the ticket, but it's kinda my fault. Another pain in the ass was passing the airport security. It took much longer than usual, partially because of COVID-19 precautions, and partially because of weird local regulations.
What's wrong with this airport? So far, my rating for Pulkovo International Airport in Saint Petersburg, 2 out of 10. I'll give it 2 only for the convenience of getting here from the downtown. Really easy to use public transport. The rest of the things, the control on the entrance, the luggage control at the entrance to waiting area. Generally, the service, the leg of seats on the main hall right after entering the airport. It's all terrible. 2 out of 10. Well, at least it's nice to see that you can get whatever you want once you get inside the waiting area, like the food, the drinks, the souvenirs. The bad part with everything is super expensive here. Like, I just checked out the price for beer, like 500 rubles a bottle, which is way too expensive, I think, even for the airport. Water, the cheapest bottle was like 2 bucks, which is like, in Russia that's expensive. I have about an hour before boarding starts, and I'm at McDonald's. And McDonald's here is also more expensive than usual, like 2 times more expensive. Let's say if I get a Big Mac for 100 rubles or for $1.50 in the downtown, here it costs 200 rubles. If you want to have a set, it will be also double. But in Russia you could actually use an app of McDonald's which would make your stuff like cheaper. And instead of paying 500 rubles, I paid 250. There's no point of going there so early. Gotta wait. You guys, if you take a flight and there's so many people in line, just have a rest. Don't be too in a hurry.
A fun fact, I'm taking a domestic flight but use my international passport for that. Usually Russians don't do that and just use domestic passports for such flights, but I simply like the look of the international one. Getting inside of the plane and finding out that it's too small for my legs and there is no seat pocket for my stuff. At least I've got no one sitting next to me. It was the only good part of this Pobeda Airlines flight besides the views from the plane. Every single time I stare at the ground and can't get bored of it. There's no food and no drinks provided during the flight, but you still can ask for water if you're thirsty.
Welcome to Kazan. That's chilly today. In Saint Petersburg that was about +2 degrees Celsius. Here is -15.
Once I'm at the airport, I'm looking for a place to take a bus or a taxi. Perhaps it's gonna be taxi because the difference is not that big.
Yeah, taxi. The bus will cost me, the public transport will cost me about 100 of rubles, because I need to take a bus and the subway, and the taxi will cost me 446 rubles, which is like, it's okay, not that expensive as in Saint Petersburg. Добрый вечер.
Потом такси, как бы, ну, сидят очень много друзей. Увидишь, говорит, коровью голову.
Hostels here. It was nice half an hour ride for 450 rubles. Nice driver. He's traveled right from this city to Baikal Lake as a taxi ride. As a taxi ride, it took him 5 days and he got like $2,000 for that. That's cool. Interesting story. Okay, let's go to the hostel.
I found this Geografia hostel on booking.com and paid $5.50 for a night.
It's really a nice hostel, so cozy here. Let's see what's around.
There are 6 beds like this in the room. Each one has light, power socket, a tiny shelf and a curtain to cover yourself from others. This room also had a tiny heater and trust me, it made a difference. A simple shower room that could be better and good washroom. The kitchen looks quite cozy with these lights and it's also comfortable to use. And there's a corner that looks like a living room. Totally worth the price I paid for staying at this place. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and maybe it will be even useful for you if you ever visit Russia. And I want to say special thank you to people who supported me on Patreon. Because of you, this trip was real. Thank you guys and see you next video.